Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek News. I'm here with Nicholas Tominskas and Alina Tominskas, and we're looking at Worlds War I, which is not a finished game yet, or not published game. You got a prototype.
Yes, it's
here.
not a published game, but it is a finished game. The game itself is complete, and we just wanted to give a little demo of the game right here to you all.
Okay.
It's Worlds War I is a 2 to 5 player steampunk hit game. It's set in an alternate history where the First World War takes place in outer space.
Okay.
You can start off as one of 5 unique homeworlds. Each homeworld has its own unique handicap and its own unique strengths. So there's the United Planets of America, Intergalactic Russian Empire, Germania Prime, if you are more inclined towards aggression. Britain, the British Trade Conglomerate for the traders and people like to trade and barter. And then there's the Asiatic League of Interstellar Expansion. And those are more for the passive-aggressive players that like to sort of manipulate the battle from behind the scenes. It's a lot of diplomacy-faced homeworld.
Okay.
The way that the game is played is there are multiple paths to victory. So you win by getting 10 victory points, but you can get those victory points in one of 5 different ways. You can either destroy other people's planets, and again, Germany is geared towards that victory point. Of course, they're not locked into that victory point. They can always deviate if they wish. You can defend a planet. So if you like to be a very peaceful player and help other people play, you can be America and defend their planets. Trading will get you a victory point. Producing 10 or more resources in a turn will give you a victory point, and controlling more than 3 or more unique colored planets will also get you a victory point each turn.
And what's the nature of gameplay? We got the decks here.
Yes, we have. There are 4 different types of cards. There you have your troop cards, which are the ones that are actually going to help you defend your planets, and then you're going to use them to attack other people. You have your actual planets, and the planets are the cards that are going to get you resources. And you can use these to get resources for yourself, or you can use them to barter for other people and trade with them to get some other cards that you might be interested in. Development and diplomacy cards are the whitebacks, and your developments are going to be your sort of country-specific cards that are going to help out and be, they're going to have like the characters that would be unique to each homeworld. So, for example, British Trade Conglomerate will have Winston Churchill. You'll have Lawrence of Arabia as well. So these are actual historical characters. They're just in a fantasy
space.
In space, exactly.
Okay.
So, and then your diplomacy cards. Those are the cards that you use to manipulate the game by. Basically, these are kind of like instants, if you will. So you use it once and it gets discarded, but they have very powerful effects.
Okay. And the nature of gameplay, we're each going to have a hand of cards.
So
how do we
the way
play
the game
things out?
is played is each player will start off with a home world. You pick your home world first, and then you get 4 cards from each pile, and then you just go through the turn phases in order. It's turn-based, so I'll go first, and then you'll go, and we each go through these turn phases. The first turn phase is to discard down to 10 cards, which you start off with 8, so you don't generally skip that phase first couple times. Then you produce your resources, and so that means that your planets that you have in play will give you resources to spend on cards, and also you get to draw 1 card from each pile. Then there's the trade phase, which is the fun phase, because then you get to negotiate, and based upon how much of a barter or trader you are, it can become very heated during that phase. A good rule of thumb for trading is that the cost of the card up here, the number up here tells the cost of the card, how much resources you have to pay to play the card, and the color tells the color of the resource that you need to pay that card. A good rule of thumb is that this is a good indicator of value. So a 2 for a 2 would be a good trade, perhaps.
But of course, ideally benefiting you both above everyone else.
Exactly. Then after the trade phase comes your diplomacy phase, and that's where the action happens. That's where you get to attack other players, and other players. If you initiate a diplomacy phase, then you have you have to be careful, because other people then can use their diplomacy cards against you and come jump in and defend. And then finally is the industry phase, where you build your empire. You use the resources that you have and the cards you have in your hand, you can put them down into play, and then you get to use those cards throughout the game. And the gameplay mechanics are very, very simple to learn, but the depth of the game comes from the different cards, in which you're able to basically go down multiple paths, and you can even switch colors, which will give you entirely new branches of paths of options that you would have. So what we found is we were really trying to make this like 2 to 5 player chess, where in every turn you had more options than you could possibly do. But based upon the circumstance and what other people are playing, that's going to dictate what cards you'll use. And it's good in the sense that everybody has given us feedback to say that they've always, the game ends and they still like, oh, I wanted to do this, this, and this, and this, and they couldn't do it because the game is over. So in that sense, it's great because people want to come back and play it again and again and again. And this is a complete gaming system. So there's the main game, which I've just kind of described, but I have many little mini games built in which you can use the same exact cards. So for example, there's a game called the Fleet Engagement, and all that uses is just the airship and the fleet troops, and it's for 2 players instead of 2 to 5. You just 2 players, and you can use all those and basically have a fleet battle with just the fleet and airship troops.
Okay.
And there are many other mini games as well.
Well, thanks very much for the overview.
Yes.
And good luck.
Thank you very much.